The question is, are we in a housing bubble? I don't think we're in a housing bubble either, John Chang. We don't have enough homes, and there's pent-up demand. That's the long and short of it. It's not too hard to understand, but there is multiple ways of measuring it, and I think they do a really great job of showing, okay, on this metric, you look at this one, household formation growth and vacancies. Look at this one, home prices, and look at this one. It's like.
It's incredible. 38% increase, over the last couple of years, median single family home price growth.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I like another chart that I like is around the 2-minute mark at 158. It talks about the months of available supply and apartment vacancy, especially the months of the graph of the months of available supply. You can see how the norm before the pandemic was 4 or 5 months of available supply. And then by 2021, the norm is actually only around 2 months of available supply. So really, we are well below the norm. We are undersupplied because we don't have a lot to go with. Yeah. And this graph right now, the one that was on at 139 that showed single family and multifamily completions alongside household growth, I thought that was also particularly compelling. You can see the clear dip at the great financial crisis as the inflection point. And after this low point in completions in 2011, completions and household formation rose through that whole decade, and we've built increasingly more multifamily as a share of total household units built. I'd love to know an explanation for this trend that's backed up by data. I mean, I can speculate on declining home buying habits, affordability.
So many single-family home developers just got out of the business,
and that's what I think.
2008
home builder incentives is the other one. I'd love to know the real information, but I think that seems to make the most sense for it. Is that these a lot of home builders just dropped out of the market. The housing demand is still there, but it's being met by multifamily increasingly.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, anything else on this video that you think it's worth?
Yes, around the 4-minute mark there is the most compelling graph for me, I think, is this graph about the rapidly expanding gap between rent and home payments. Yeah. I think that curtailed home sales and dampened enthusiasm in the market will bring down home prices slightly, but rent growth should stay strong if this gap persists. That'll close because of rents going up as much as maybe home payments either remaining stable or going down slightly. But it certainly doesn't imply that rents are going to cool off at all. If anything, this is another one of those factors that's continuing to drive
catch
up
up
rents.
A little bit. Yeah. No, that's a good point. And I mean, I think we're seeing some softening in the single family home market, but you still see people out there are buying just because there are still enough buyers. It was 10 buyers for every house or so, and it's like well, now there's maybe 4 buyers for every house, but you still have more buyers than there are houses available.
And the factors that are bringing down home payments aren't doing anything to reduce housing demand. It's just channeling them into
where are they going to go?
Other places,
and that's where we're seeing people, renting, specifically kind of the Class A and kind of nice Class B units because they were thinking about buying a house. They can't buy a house. Well, they maybe have a little bit of money, just not enough to buy a house, but they still want to live somewhere nice, especially if they're like moving in with their girlfriend, thinking about having kids, and they're kind of at that next stage of their life that so many millennials are in right now, which is kind of like that median age demographic. We've got a lot of people that most economists and housing experts were predicting and banking on them all buying homes right now, and they can't buy homes right now. And where are they going to go? A lot of these people, they're not moving in with mom and dad. You get some of the younger people, and you'll get a few, but most people they don't want to move back in, with mom and dad. Maybe roommates, maybe moving in with their girlfriend, boyfriend, but they still need a place to live. Yep. At the end of the day.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I wonder how sticky this is going to be if even when they have the means, even when 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 the home buying prices kind of go down a little bit, if people still want to buy at the end of the story.
I think people still will want to buy it. Just will they be able to or not?
Yeah.
What's their ability?